Hi, Chetan.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're just waiting for the live stream to start and then we'll start. Okay.
Okay, Ram, we are live streaming now.
Okay. Okay, friends. Thanks to everybody for joining in today, and thanks to Venkat for making this happen. We're all gathered today on a very sad day because we all lost a dear runner friend of ours. On Sunday, as you know, Rajalakshmi was crushed by a guy driving in a very high speed, and she had to lose her life, unfortunately. It was all such a sudden thing for the family, you know. It's shocking for everybody, for all of us in the running community, that it could have been anybody, any one of us. So that's what we have come here. We're just gathered to basically pay our condolences and then sort of take it forward and see what we can do on this whole issue. You know? So anybody wants to start on the condolences? Anybody who knows her, you know, we can start.
Okay. Can I talk?
Yeah, please go ahead, Kanti.
Yeah. So whenever we run on the road, we know runners, you know, even if we don't know them by names, but we know the regular faces who are running, whom we bump onto each other, you know, during our long runs on the roads and during many running events as well. So Raji was also one of them. She and her husband, both of them, they used to, whenever I used to start my run from Malba Hill, I used to come across them, both of them on the Malkeshwar road usually. And sometimes I've seen them at PDP also with the striders, some track workout. So that was it. And we used to see and say hi, hello, like that, you know, early morning, just waving our hand. But when this Sunday, when it happened, unfortunate day, we were running and all the runners were stopping us to ask, did you see, was any of your friend in running in Hoka shoes and all? So we were not knowing. And as I returned home and I saw all those messages with photographs and the confirmation of Raji. So it was very shocking and it felt that I could be in her place, you know, because the only a small stretch of Marine Drive, but same kind of thing issues can happen to us as well, because we are always trying to be very careful, but unfortunately it happened to her, and it was very shocking. And you know, I can't talk in words, but that feeling is there, which just life just ended suddenly, and it's just a vacuum, and whole day we were thinking, that face will not see any time again. So I really feel sorry for that incident, and I give I hope her family gets more strength to bear the loss. And her son was, I knew that she was going to the London Marathon, and her son was in London, and all those things which suddenly now are not going to happen. So that was really a big shock.
Yeah, that's true. We are all still reeling under that shock, and it all happened so suddenly. And as Gandhi said, it could have been any one of us. It could have been any one of the MRR runners or any of the group runners. So it's a big shock for all of us. And life just getting snuffed out like that in 2 seconds. Nobody can imagine that happened to anybody. Okay, anybody else wants to talk? Feel free to mute yourself and start talking.
If I may,
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm Bhaskar. I am from Pune. But this is shocking anywhere, and more so for the family. Like, what I feel is when you go out to run, you are going out for health, and and uh, uh, and your family is not expecting that you will not come back. All of us do that. All of us as runners do that, and this is. This is beyond comprehension. Like, why should something like this happen to any runner? So, and then questions come: should I go out to run or not, and so on and so forth. And it's not about myself; it's for the family itself. So, my deepest condolences and my deepest prayers for the survivors. I mean, it's tough for them. I know how tough it would have been for Raji, those few moments, but life is going to be tough. And as runners, we need to address how do we, how do we, uh, how do we keep our families comforted that we are doing something which is safe, uh, and uh, uh, prayers for her, and my sincere thoughts, and whatever we could do for the family, like, and it's like words cannot define that. So that's my.
Thank you, Danko. Anybody else wants to talk?
Hi, can I come in? This is Anil.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely sorry for this news. In fact, on the very same day, I had planned to run from Borivali to Villeparle, visit my daughter, have a breakfast there, and come back by cab or by train. But un- but a meeting came up in the mind space at Malad at 7:30, so I cancelled that run from Borivali to, and I was supposed to run from highway only. That was the plan. Usually I don't run except for the marathons where the roads are blocked actually. But when I came back, when I saw the message, I said, "Oh my God, this is tragic," and I was really scared. It could have happened. Like Kranti also, everyone says that could happen to anyone. And I don't know, somewhere I felt that something happened and my that run was cancelled. And I was like in the same situation, and I got really scared, and uh, the whole day I spent thinking about it, and really felt very sorry what has happened. And yes, as rightly said by others, we need to do something, uh, especially for the laws also. Of course, my sincere condolences to the family, and we, as a runner, as a big group, especially the event organizer like You Can Run, NEB, and many other big, they should come up, and all the runners will support them to take up this issue with the laws or for the with the traffic issues, and collectively we can do something to make this things little much easier and safer for everyone, for us. That's all.
Yes, thank you,
Om
Anil.
Shanti.
And what you said is right in terms of it could have been any one of us. And that's why we're all very shocked like anything. So we need to think on how to make our lives better and easier, safer for us. We do all that we can do, but then there are some elements which are against us, like it happened in the case of Rajalakshmi. So that's what we need to tackle. How do we then go about safeguarding ourselves and giving comfort to the family, as you said? Okay, whether when we go out, whether we'll come back alive or not. So yeah, anybody else want to talk? Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ketan Shah.
Yes, okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, please.
So
Yeah,
I feel that we have lost a family member because ultimately we runners, whoever, even when I go out, when I see any runner, I just feel that okay, yaar, it's my, family, one of my family member, it's like because the first reaction, like, uh, when my wife saw the news in the newspaper, first reaction from her is that why you stop going out, stop running. I mean, running in an event, okay, it's safe. Like all the events when we participate in the run on Sunday, the arrangements are done by the organizers, so it's a bit safe. So she said, okay, why don't you run in an event? Why do you go out for a run? Sometime I run from Vile Parle to NCPA, start from 5 a.m. morning. So even cycling I do. So it's like now somewhere some kind of a fear is inculcated in my by I don't even in my family. My son also says that be careful now. But this has put in a dent in our mind actually. Because this thing is uncertain actually. And what I feel, of course, my deepest sympathy with family members of ma'am who passed away. But we as a runner, I mean, first we should take care about our family. I mean, if anyway, I mean, this whoever loses the family member is the deepest shock to them and biggest loss in the life. But what we should do going ahead is that we should find a safest route. If we are running daily practice or alternate day practice or 3 times a week, many people run to practice. One safe route has to be found. It's advisable to run in a by-lanes rather than to run on a highway. So it's I mean, like, now is the time to think prudently to be safe going out. That's all my request to all.
Thank you, Ketanji. Anybody from Striders who would like to speak? Any of our colleagues who were running with her or racing with her or
Hi,
training with her?
I'm Subhash Motwani. I'm actually from Striders. I mean, part of the running community, and it's really shocking to see this. I'm actually from Striders. I mean, part of the running community, and yeah, I think there's a lagging. So, my heartfelt condolences to the family, and this was truly a Black Sunday when I started getting some messages on what has happened. And when you see Raji running, and she used to smile and greet all of us. And when we are all running on a Sunday morning, which is generally the long runs because we are from different centers, it's there is no boundaries. You greet everybody, you say hello or you wish, and it's unfortunate such things happen. And most of us run for fitness. We wear a Garmin watch or something to see a heart rate is in check, everything is okay. But the sad part here is, in spite of being cautious on various fronts, there's something such reckless situation which took a important life away and important, as someone also mentioned, you feel you lost a family member, literally speaking, because when you go on a Sunday morning, you run, you meet or see familiar faces. It's indeed very unfortunate. And yeah, I mean, one has to be cautious, I agree, but at the same time, these situations are really, really tragic. And my general advice to most runners, and I always do, I have my running friends in Priyadarshini Park or racecourse running. I always tell them, look at the traffic and run. And sometimes I cross the road and do that. And I don't know what these circumstances, I don't know the minute details, but we have to be as cautious as possible, because around us, the world can be reckless. And this is really unfortunate. Once again, my sincere and heartfelt condolences to the family and to the entire running fraternity, all of you who are present here. And may her soul rest in peace. And let's all be, pray for her soul. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhash.
I would like to speak. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Shashi here. I'm from Striders Shivaji Park. And Raji was very much a part of our community for the last 10 years plus. There are 2-3 things I would like to talk about, because this group has been formed. And first of all, I would like to compliment the person who has taken this initiative to have this Zoom meeting. Thank you very much. It's so nice of you. 2 parts of this conversation. One is that there is a case which is happening. I mean, we need to first make sure that this is justice. And my request to everybody on this forum is that please reach out on social media as much as you can, and let us gather as much as we can in our own way, silently but effectively, make sure that there is enough of pressure to make sure that the police files a proper case and investigations reach a proper end. Just for your knowledge, there is no, the blood report and the urine report hasn't come in as yet. So on social media, whatever ways you can. Of course, we had a silent march which we went towards the police station, which was one part which I'm so thankful for all the fraternity to come together. But please, in your own way, tweet. There's enough of articles which are coming up on social media. As much as we can make our voice be heard, that will be nice. That is my first request, so that justice happens as far as this unfortunate loss has happened. That is number one. Number two, going forward, I mean, we need to have a few do's and don'ts, just like we have few do's and don'ts for everything in life. I'm sure the running fraternity and the fitness enthusiasts, the numbers are growing in India, which is very good sign, even including the cyclists and the walkers and the joggers. There are some rules which one should be maintaining our self-discipline. See what happens when you're in speed, as I was telling another friend of mine today, you're consciously unconscious with regards to, you're in your own nirvanic state whereby you are enjoying the run, you're enjoying the speed, you're enjoying the thrill. But please be conscious that you're on the road and you are in an environment which could not be under your control, which has happened. So the do's are, as much as we can, we know, I know for sure that nobody would like to, but let's be on the footpath. That is number one. I know, I mean, roads are dug up, and as much as you can, like let's say on Worli Sea Face, that is accepted. We don't run on the footpath at all, which is the safest place. We are running on the roads. We are walking on the road. That is number one. Number two, always as a rule, please go against the traffic, which is very, very important. At least you have a chance. One person has survived this because he was against the traffic. He saw the car coming in. That is number two. Number three, as much as you can, please run in groups. Please run with friends, so that at least there is some kind of a safety element together. In numbers, there is strength. So run in groups. Number four, there is this band which is now being talked about, which helps you. You can put your identity, you can put your name, you can put a contact, you can mention about your blood group and things like that. Just like you wear a garment, why not wear this band? So these are 4 or 5 pointers for us to basically be careful about. And it is my request, so that this is not repeated, we can minimize this as much as we can. And this is our humble request from Strider Shivaji Park. Let us put enough of pressure to make sure that there is justice. Number two, please be careful. And as much as you can secure yourself with regards to these do's, it will be helpful. Thank you very much, and God bless you all, and happy running to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashi. Very well said, and there are some good points you made regarding running in groups and wearing a band and all those things. That's fantastic. Anybody else would like to speak?
I just wanted to add to 2, 3 points, though I spoke earlier. I see many runners, with earphones. Now it is very risky. I mean, if you're running on a road with your phone, if any vehicle honking from behind, you don't hear. That is very risky. Secondly, where you reside, identify a route. Even if it is a small, let's say 5 kilometer, if you want to run, say 15, 10, 15, it's advisable to do couple of rounds. Identify a good, if you're running on the road, safe road. I mean, like that you have to, instead of going for a long, run away from your home, do couple of rounds, like a couple of loops. That is, I think that is my view actually, because you are aware about the traffic there, what kind of vehicle come, so you are familiar with that kind of traffic around your residence.
Correct.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ketan. Very good points, and we should actually collect and gather all this do's and don'ts, and then publish it and publicize it to all the groups and all the running groups, so they can take benefit of it. Going forward, what do we do, like in terms of how do we tackle this issue, and that let us have some thoughts on that. Do we file a petition to the Mumbai police and all the authorities on the problems that we runners are facing vis-a-vis disappearing roads virtually, and speeding vehicles, and whole lot of issues that comes up for runners, not only runners but walkers and cyclists. They are also in a big danger group, or any other solution that we have in mind.
I think we should go ahead with the filing of petition. I'm sure all the runners will support.
Also agree to that. Yeah, but petition, what will be the ground of petition?
Safe and dedicated route for outdoor sports, cycling, and for cyclists and runners and walking.
So here I have a suggestion. See, as you said, like government has all these stadiums available. Correct. So say you are doing a speed workout. As someone mentioned, that there is on certain days, if you are training for a marathon, you have to do speed workout. So the petition should include that if you are a runner, or recreational runner, not a professional runner, there should be a way to get access to the facilities, so that we don't do those workouts on the road. At least that facility, at least in Pune, I know those facilities are not available to recreational runners. They are available either to professional runners or to people who have political muscle. So say if I want to do 400 by 400 repeats, why can't I do it in a stadium? Why should we not be allowed to do that? So I think these should be included as solutions in the petition. Number one, because we are tax-paying citizens, we are part of Fit India movement. What else do you want Fit India to do? Do you want Fit India to sleep in their beds and be fit? Give us place those stadiums, those running tracks are underutilized. Give us time. We will run at 10. We'll run at 12. We'll run at 12 at the night. But why not?
Yeah. That's a good suggestion, I think. Now, even the areas like we have in Santa Cruz, Kalina University, the big campus there. I mean, I see many runners. I see the morning going inside. It's a good, a big area. Similarly, IIT campus. If we are allowed to run inside the campus,
Why not?
it's safe there. So
Absolutely.
that kind of authorities should allow us. That would reduce, you will run with a peace of mind and without any fear.
Absolutely. So all these, we can include all these points. And of course, all the runner safety things that runners can do, like many people have pointed, running against the traffic, running in groups, running in areas that are familiar to you. We should definitely do that. And then add all these in our petition as a group, that hey, if you and tie it to something much larger, like a Fit India movement. Fit India cannot be just a jingoism or whatever, just a jargon. It has to have some basis. How do I be fit? If my wife thinks that I won't return home from my morning jog, how do you expect me to be fit? So that should be the basis of our petition.
Okay, something which was put by one person from MRR only, but he's not able to join this meeting. Okay, so what he clearly said is that we should be having patrolling going on the streets in the morning, and also possibly cop presence. Now, this kind of echoes with me because I primarily used to run at Powai. Okay, so there were a few incidents in Powai where some women were harassed, or they were kind of robbed and all. Since then, even at 5 o'clock, if you start your runs, there will be at least one police van which is patrolling the whole of the area, Hiranandani. Okay. And there was a time when I used to run, and if I saw a single female who is running alone, this patrol van would keep her company. So something like this, when I have come to Worli and I have run, and I started running there because only for the Navy run, because I wanted to get a feel of that place. I was shocked to see zero presence of police over there in the morning. I mean, an area like Worli, it's really amazing, because you have so many rich bungalows out there, so many prominent people out there, but there is no patrolling. And for runners, there is security is like zilch out there. I think in this petition, whatever is being filed, we should be having that patrolling. Even the fact of one cop, walking on the road will serve as a deterrent to many drivers. Yeah. And what happened to the bandobast? Yeah. From Marine Drive, I know when I used to come over there to run often, there used to be a blockage which used to happen at this thing opposite Wilson College. They used to not allow even one bike to go that entire stretch. Later on, when we had open streets, it became still more stringent. Suddenly, you see all this has just gone for the toss. We are just taken for granted as runners. And are we just waiting for statistics to increase and then we take some action? It's very unfortunate what happened to Raji, and honestly, it's totally shocking. I think we should use this petition to get these things done. Police presence, patrolling, it's a must. And if there is a woman runner, any age, running alone, there should be a patrol van following her. I mean, people can do 5 kilometer loops on Marine Drive. Yeah, just block that whole area. That's it. Thanks. Bye.
There is one solution applied in Kalyan 3 years back. Our commissioner identified one patch of the road, 1.5 kilometers. He barricaded that road from the both sides from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And it is a helping till now because we can have loops of 3 kilometers, and you can have n number of the loops completely barricaded. And I think this is an immediate solution. We can ask for so many things, but this can be done immediately. In every area, we can identify a patch of the road and we can apply to the authorities to barricade for a few hours from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. That will help us a lot. Thank you.
So those are really good suggestions. I think that work for the short term. And hey, it's Aditya here. I happened to recently visit Mumbai and run my first long run this Sunday where the tragic incident happened. It really affected me, but I just want to share that a similar series of events were happening in Boston where I was studying in the early 2010s. And over there, cyclists were getting struck by buses and cars. So the whole collective active runners and cyclist community came together and started collecting signatures. And it took a long time, like 3-year period, after which they were able to convince the local city to make a dedicated lane. So that is something that really works for the long term, because again, if we have a short term barricades and things, they can be again taken off.
Hi everyone, this is Manisha Rukhana. Am I audible, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. Hello everyone. First of all, let me express my deepest condolences for Raji's demise. And it's a very shocking incident to me, something so close to home because I was earlier on based in Worli. And the morning of that run was a very, I wasn't running that day. And I got a few frantic calls from friends saying that, is it you? Are you fine? I was like, what happened? They said, there's this lady lying face down in a pool of blood and she's got short hair and we thought she's you. And that's how I came to know about this incident. And then the photos were circulated. So basically, I agree with what Fabian is saying. The stretch at Worli after the coastal link road has been starting to build, there is absolutely no patrolling and there is no space for runners. So I think our immediate concern, and since a lot of us, and it's like an arterial road where we are constantly running there from Shivaji Park onwards. Whoever comes from Bandra will have to pass Worli to go to NCPA. So definitely at Worli, let's focus. That at the coastal road there should be a dedicated lane. So, that is one thing. And also, as Fabian mentioned, some kind of patrolling should be there, some kind of nakabandi, some kind of deterrent so that, these incidents don't happen. And it's really scary when, I cannot get the trauma out of my head. It could have been it could have been me, it could have been anyone else. So, so I think that should be a huge part of the petition. I just simply wanted to second what Fabian said. And as a runner from Worli, I'm very much shocked to see that one of the premium areas has witnessed one of the most horrific incidents in the recent times of any kind. And this is a kind of an assault that has happened on her. And I'm very sorry that we all have to face this. But it's like a wake-up call. So let's wake up and do something constructive. That's what I'm saying.
Thanks, Manisha.
Hello everyone, this is Sunil Handa. Hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, please go ahead.
Very shocking news.
We can't hear you, Captain.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. So I was just saying it is a very, very sad news, and we hope and pray that family is able to pay the loss. And all of us have gathered and given lots of good points concerning the safety of runners. I would add a few more points. Hope somebody noting on the points and for the petition if we are making one. We see that the cops, especially on the weekends, nights, on the Friday night, Saturday nights, or they are there on the roads at midnight onwards, and they are carrying breath analyzers and checking all many drivers on those roads when they're coming back to Kolaba or Shivaji Park and Worli. But we don't see such coughs in the early morning hours. So we can add this point in the petition that the cops who are standing at midnight with checking people for drunken driving should also be checking people early in the morning, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock till around 8:30, because that's the most dangerous time when somebody was awake whole night, like in this case probably, and that guy was partying till 4 o'clock, and then they were going out to drop somebody. So he was drunk, he was sleepy. But we, or the cop and the authorities, assume that people who are driving in the morning are not drunk, they've just gotten up in the morning. And also that's the time when most of us are out for our physical activities or for other activities on the roads, I mean, between 5 to 7, 8 o'clock. So there's one point I would like to submit. Other point, as somebody's brought out, is about the facilities which are available to professional sports persons, like the stadiums and
I think we lost him. Captain, we lost you.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Sunil, we lost you. Yeah.
Ramjadan, can I say something?
Yeah, please go ahead, Venkat.
So, I mean, everybody's expressed his or her sorrow, and I also share the sorrow. I did not know Raji as a runner, but a new offer. It is a very strange coincidence of life that Raji was the CEO of a company called Altruist, and Altruist took over the business of Vertex Business Services. And Vertex Business Services, which is the UK company, was a company to which I sold my BPO. I and my founding partner, Shell Transos. So Shell Transos was sold to Vertex. Vertex was sold to Altruist. And she was the CEO of the business that I kind of founded. So, we were professional, successes in the same business. And I knew that, whoever has taken over was a runner, etc. I knew that, but we had never met. There was no reason to meet. So that being said, it's very unfortunate, and all kinds of suggestions have come. Ultimately, it's a system, and this is something that I've spoken to in many platforms, separately, to the municipal authorities, to the police. Whenever there has been occasion to meet with them, I've told them that there should be some earmarking. And we all know that so many accidents have happened. One of my trainees got struck by a scooter. I mean, this is in BKC. We went, we filed a complaint, we did everything, but they couldn't find the camera. And they couldn't find the video to find out who was those two boys who came on the scooter, banged him, and went away. So even the policing is very lax. And as runners, if we don't stand up for our rights, then who will? Because as it is, people think it's a pagal hai, savere utke bhagta hai. As it is, we are in that fringe element of society. Fitness freak is a term that is often used. So in society, we have to stand up for ourselves. And if we don't take a unified action, irrespective of what group or trading group we belong to, then the system is not going to change. And I concur with everybody else that we should do something. But what we should do, how we should do it, we have got two eminent legal persons. Shamlata is there, Ashok Someshwar is there. I mean, they should guide us. And we are all willing to put the signature wherever it is required. Thank you, Ram. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkat. Ashok, would you like to say something?
Everything that has to be said has already been said by people. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay. So, yes, we should draft this petition and submit it to, the police, the municipal authorities, and also the sports ministry. Because in some form or the other, even though we are amateurs, we are pursuing a sport. Running or cycling or walking, it is a sport. So I think the sports ministry also should be involved in this. And regarding the earmarking of lanes or routes or smaller places where people can run in loops, this should be a major part of the petition. And as Fabian also mentioned earlier, that the beat system of the police early morning. They should, I mean, there is a majority of people who are runners, and if you go and see in the mornings at any locality, you will find a lot of people running on the streets early morning from 5 to 7. And these are citizens of the country, and the police have a duty to protect these people in the morning. And as I run at Powai, and I can see that there is definite police presence. There are 2 to 3 vans, roaming around every time, and there are police stationed at various places with their bikes along the route. So they do a lot in Powai. But Powai, obviously, the Hiranandani being a very high net worth area, probably the people would have, kind of forced this on the police station. And smaller places may not have this kind of power to, tell the police to do this. But as runners, I think as a community, if we appeal to these authorities and tell them to implement this at all the places, by wider notification or whatever, which through the government, if it can come, then it would help, and it could probably set a precedent, and it could be a kind of like a rule everywhere. It will happen. Like nowadays, during vacations, they have these happy streets, but it's only during vacation. This can be continued through the year, and I know that at a lot of places, whether it is Chandigarh or whether it is Pondicherry, they do have this system where from evening 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, the traffic is closed on the bayfront, and it opens only at 8 o'clock in the morning. So between 6 o'clock in the night and morning 8 o'clock, the road is totally free for the cyclists or dog walkers or runners or everybody. This has to be there everywhere, through the country. Why at some places? If some small places can implement, I think everybody can implement it. So that is my view on this. Obviously, my heartfelt condolences to Raji's family. It's a very, very unfortunate thing, and my Sunday was really, really horrible when I started getting these messages, and finally the persons were identified and all that. It's horrible, and nothing is done to curb this menace of speeding, and there is no business of anybody to speed at 100 kilometers per hour on a Sunday morning within the city. I have got challan for going above 60 on the Masjid flyover twice. I was just driving at 65 probably, and that was early in the morning when no traffic was there on that flyover. So why are these people able to drive at 100? 100, nowhere in the city 100 is allowed. So these are my points, and this is something which we should bring about.
I would like to say something more. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please go ahead, Shashi.
So just for now that the running fraternity and the fitness fraternity has joined together on this forum, just for everyone's knowledge, we are going to have a solidarity run, walk, or even if we can include the cyclists very shortly in the memory of our dearest Raji. Most probably, I think I'm not making any commitments, but I'm giving you a heads up that this is going to be organized by all of us, the dear ones from Striders, Shivaji Park, and the Striders community. We will keep all the groups informed about it. And just like a lot of participants have come to basically show our solidarity and make an appeal to the police cops on Monday, we would like more numbers to come together. And this will also show a moment of strength for all the fraternity to basically showcase our requirements and all that what we have discussed today. So I'm giving you a heads up that this is going to happen, and we will make this, we'll give advance notice so that everyone is ready for it and everybody can join us in this moment of peaceful solidarity in her memory, and at the same time do something about these so that these tragedies are avoided in the future. That is what I wanted to appeal to everyone before everyone starts slowly getting off this forum which is currently going on.
So there's
Thank
one
you.
more point if I could add.
Yes, please go ahead, Swati.
Yeah, the main issue actually, which most of us also face, is that the street lights in most parts of the city are off by 6:10, 6:15 a.m. I mean, I understand during summer there is still some light coming in by 6:30, 6:40, but in winters it's pitch dark and there's absolutely no visibility while we're running on the road. I mean, neither can, we kind of, because it's not that we have straight flat routes, we have potholes, stray dogs, and all the other menaces that are, lurking around always. And we're always at a risk of falling off or getting injured. And to top it all, there is no visibility. So if if the lights can be manned in a manner that at least during winters they're on until like 6:57 a.m. so that there's some light trickling in till the time till the sun comes up, that would also be something that we can request the authorities to do.
That's a good point, Swati. In fact, where I run also in Mindspace behind, there is some patch where there is no light at all, and then there is a lot of construction debris on the road. So we find it very difficult to. I have to just walk at that particular places. There is no
Exactly,
light.
and at that point, I mean, we're not focusing on speed. We're just focusing on ensuring that we don't fall off because the roads are full of potholes. There's construction happening everywhere, and it's very difficult to run at that point.
Yeah. Thanks, Swati. Also, one thing I would like to point here is that we should not only talk of runners, but also walkers and cyclists, because they are
for
also in equal
everybody.
danger
Everybody.
the speeding motorists, drunken speeding motorists. And then we'll get a larger community of people to work with. Because if we just talk of runners, then that just percentage of number of runners in India will be much less. But if we talk of runners, then everybody gets involved, and we have a larger kind of interest group sitting
even
there.
if at any point in time we do have a dedicated route for people to walk, cycle, and run, the only thing I can think of is bikers maneuvering traffic and using that route to get ahead. That's the only thing I can think of. It has to be made in a manner that is, it is bike proof.
So I'd like to suggest and add to the nice suggestions that we're giving, but also the fact that Raji's death should not be gone in vain, that her sacrifice for the runner community that she's done should be beneficial for the community. Can I suggest that this not be only a Mumbai centric exercise with the good offices of, and I see people from different cities as well here on this call, and Striders can definitely network across cities, is that we should do this simultaneously in at least the major cities, Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, wherever we can. But this should be simultaneous, and get runners who are in the press to agree to come on board and write about it, so that we have the maximum visibility. Doing it in one city is not going to have as much visibility as 4-5 cities, and this has to be a national movement.
That's right. I agree entirely, Dhiren. We can create a template which can be used across in different cities by the various running groups, and get not only the newspaper people, but also the lot of runners we have from police and excise and BMC and all those government departments. They can also help us in that.
Ram, Manor, can I say something?
Yeah, please go ahead, Manor.
Ram, see, we have a lot of groups around the city. We need to form a proper structure as to how everything comes under one umbrella, so we can go to the local bodies to address these problems, because every part may have different problems. So we need to create a structure, because talking is okay, saying things differently is okay, but we need to form a team of people who can address these things to the local bodies. So moving forward, I think we should get together in some way, non-charitable groups, coaches, everything have to come under one umbrella. So there has to be some proper system in this. Some views on that.
Correct. Yeah, I agree entirely, Manoj. This is not just a one group thing, but it's like the entire running fraternity all over in Bombay and Navi Mumbai and Thane. So all of us need to come together and show our presence, actually.
Kiran has something to talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kiran, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My deepest condolences to Raji. See, now I come basically from a small town, Jalgaon in Maharashtra. We recently had a same incidents in Jalgaon. A 60-year guy, he was walking and he was knocked off last, and there was a casualty. He was shifted to Mumbai and he had head injuries, and there were casualty as well. But unfortunately, didn't get recognized. Now things which happened in Bombay, now it is immediately in the news. Okay, it is very unfortunate whether that happened in Jalgaon or Mumbai. But what I think is this is something in the policy that we should not target only for Bombay or bigger cities, metro cities only. For the smaller cities as well, in places like Jalgaon, we have females. They don't find it safe running in the morning. We had incidences of chain snatching as well, or teasing, and even if the local IPS officer, if he's a runner or cyclist, he gets an escort for his own safety as well. When we have officer who is in support of sports, then things are in our favor itself. But the moment he gets transferred, these things don't work in our favor. So what I think is we have different people from cross section of the groups, some of them from press, from media, from bureaucrats. We should pressurize and sensitize all the departments. We should try and contact the people who are into policy making. This particularly comes under the sports ministry and the home department at the state level and the central level. Why don't we take it on the nationwide activity and get policy making, all the points that were discussed, whether we should have a dedicated time in the morning, all the route, whatever running route, dedicated route for runners. Can we have a patrolling done over there, CCTV cameras installed over there? So all the runner groups, organizers, Venkat sir, maybe we can take inputs from them, and we should make a nationwide policy itself. We should contact our local MLAs, MPs, sports minister and home minister. This is how I think we should take it forward. And then it would be a real condolences to Raji and all the casualties that had happened in the past as well. These were my inputs.
Ram, can I speak?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Although we did not know, I did not know Raji well, and I may have seen her while running at Burley, but my heartfelt condolences to the family. There's one suggestion that I want to immediately make, which can be put in place, is that there are some stretches of the road which are really dangerous. For example, the stretch on the Kedal Road, from Barista till Siddhivinayak, the road becomes narrow, and there are drivers who drive recklessly on that road. I think we can earmark some roads and ensure that our runners don't run on those roads. I think that is one of the immediate steps that we can take. For example, I run with Venkat sir, and he gave the example of BKC, and that's why we have shifted our running from BKC to Bandra. So I think there are some stretches of road which are extremely dangerous, where drivers drive recklessly. The other one being the Worli Sea Face. It's very dangerous to run on the road on Worli Sea Face, and the one stretch on Haji Ali, the road leading to Haji Ali. I think on those roads, runners should run on the pavements and avoid running on the road.
Yes, Gautam, thanks. In fact, even in Marine Drive, where the coastal road construction is going on, that particular stretch of road is very dangerous, very risky for our runners over there, because it goes out into the main road. The promenade is almost over, that time. So that's why. So Prem Rajni, you want to say something?
When I was on Worli Sea Face,
yeah, please go ahead, Gautam.
I have seen people throwing balls.
Yeah, please go ahead, Gautam.
So sorry, do I speak right now? Okay, you complete, please. Yes,
I've seen runners being attacked on Worli Sea Face. People should immediately earmark certain roads on which it is unsafe for runners, actually.
Okay. Prem Rajni ji, you want to go ahead?
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you. I think I just joined a bit late, but one important point someone mentioned is a petition being filed in the High Court, which I completely agree. And why we should make the sports minister a respondent is very important. I believe running, cycling, walking are the only sports where people actually have to go on the road. All of the sports, whether cricket, badminton, tennis, there is enough club or is Hindu gymkhana, many gymkhanas are there. They rarely come on the road swimming and all. Nobody has to come on the main road. Marathon runners do need long distance and they can't be in the ground. You can't keep running 400 circuit million times. You need the road. And I think we also have the instance where some of the Ladakhis have represented India in at I think on Asia level in Bangkok and they earned some medals or something. So running is while fitness for many, but of course it also brought Indian sport minister some credibility abroad. I think it's a contribution of the sports minister. They can't give us a ground. At least the road safety is very important. To that purpose, we have all learned during lockdown to live at least one road closed, the entire city closed for months together. Someone also mentioned if we have roads closed from morning 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, at least one side of the road, I think it makes a lot of achievement because we see that Sunday roads are encouraging many other young people to come and play. Till more people come and joining fitness and running. Maybe we may produce some more starts athletics also, whether cycling or running. That's about. I think sports ministry certainly must be made a respondent to the writ petition. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Rajni. Thakurji, you want to go ahead?
Reese wanted to speak, I think.
Sunil and Raji, you want to go ahead?
May I?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
So I think this has been a very, there are so many suggestions over there. So first of all, for Raji's family, can we get that spot? So someone was there from Boston and he mentioned, can we just, and then we have so many spots marked that this is an accident and whatever. Can we have that as a memorial that she ran in a very good sense, like in a runner sense of way, that spot should be marked. That's a runner. So that people become aware. People generally drink at night and drive should know that, okay, this is what happens. And in a very positive sense of way, I'm not talking about a statue or something, but in a runner sense of way, something over there immediately that we can do. Number two is there's a local concern and there's a global concern. Global as an Indian concern. Local concern will be very different. There will be road digging happening. There will be, and then you have to deal with that. But as a policy for running, I think we need to get access, say, to all the facilities. What are those facilities lying there for? Who will use it if we cannot? And we will be paying for that. That's my point. Number two. Number three, for the road safety part. Now, unfortunately, in Pune, what I have seen, they spent crores of rupees when this entire thing, G8 was happening. They marked everything red for cyclists and turn and all those, and everything is gone. So we should take that very seriously. If you have done that, we should raise our voice. And someone suggested we will be very vocal on social media. That, okay, you cannot sell pani puri on a track which is marked for cyclists. So these are the three things that I would like to.
Thanks, Thakurji. Sunil and Raji, you want to go ahead? You were speaking something when you got disconnected, I think. Okay. Naveenji, you want to say something?
Yeah, basically, it's a very sad moment for all of us. Yeah, and now the next step is, we can't stop running on the roads because that's the only place where we can run. And I personally feel that, see, we are asked for these roads only for very few hours in a week. Especially on Sundays, we ask for maybe about 6 hours.
By the way, here is what my concern is. When we say we can only run on roads, None of the Indian elite runners run on road. They train on tracks, which is provided for by the government, which is paid for by people like us through income tax. So I want that why should we not have access to that? Are we going to, if we run, say, 1 minute per kilometer slower than them, are we going to damage those tracks? None of the Indian runners, elite runners, the top 3, run on Indian roads. If you know anyone who runs on roads and qualifies for Asian Games or Olympics, please let me know. None. They all train on grounds provided by the government.
These governments, the SAI authority, like SAI, for example, we have in Mumbai suburb at Kandivali, there is a SAI ground. But usually the runs are not allowed. Only the athletes are allowed there. You rightly said.
Exactly.
We are not
Why
allowed.
athletes? Are we not athletes?
Most of the elite marathoners do altitude training and they don't run in cities like us. They run in conditions that where there is not too many inhabitants and they run in villages.
No. I live in Pune. AIPT, Army Institute of Physical Training, is next to my home. Most runners, Gopi or whatever, come and train here. They have a track. They train on tracks for their marathons. I'm not talking about ultra marathons.
No, they may be training. See, they may be training on tracks for certain distances, but they all train at high altitudes for longer distances. All, including Nitin Rawat, Gopi, everybody runs on roads at higher altitudes.
Yeah, all of them do that.
They can't run on a stadium for a marathon. 100%. They can't do that.
I'm running with a few, so I'm so sorry. Sorry, my observation may be.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
And the other thing is, sorry, Anil, to take up your point, SAI used to allow amateur runners to run in the stadiums. So have they stopped it?
No, Ashok. No, Ashok. Recently, I tell you, 2 weeks back, I went to Bandra Wings Stadium. I was stopped.
No, Wings is not a government stadium. It's a private.
Influence, no.
Wings is a private stadium.
Okay, then what about SAI at Kandivali?
SAI they used to allow. I was a member there.
But let's look at this thing very practically. 200 runners come at 7 o'clock in the morning. Will it all be okay to run on a track?
They can allot it separately or whatever. But see,
there should be more tracks like this.
That is a different matter.
There should be more tracks like this. And once we start demanding, we'll get. And more than those athletes representing our country, we are spreading message of the fitness among the people of our age, 40, 50, 60. And that is the more important for the health of our nation. Rather than bringing a medal is a good thing, but bringing fitness is another good thing.
Yeah,
and we should demand that.
I think all the government stadiums are allowed for.
No, they are not, sir. They are not.
On a payment
but the track is always flat. What if you have to do hill training and other kind of?
That is different. That's different.
You cannot just run on a track all the time.
I know, Manohar, even for speed training, SAI used to allow. I don't go there anymore. That's a different matter. They used to allow. I used to pay 1,500 rupees for an entire year.
So I'm not suggesting one solution for all. If you have to do hill training, you have to do hill training. But most people over here are doing marathons. And if you want to get a PB, you will go to a flat track. You will not go to a hill marathon. You will not go to Goa to get your PB. You will go to
most of us run because it's a social bonding. It's a community kind of feeling. We are running not because of PBs all the time. So
that's true. I think we are digressing a bit from the topic. There are some runners I know who have made it into the world majors while training on the roads. So we should really stick to the topic where to improve the road safety and get.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, honestly, yeah, we have this areas like the Marine Drive, right, and the Worli Sea Phase. We should look at least starting with that. And there's a lot of construction going on right now. I really hope that they have dedicated lanes for residents who live in the area to come and go for a quick 5K or 10K as well. It's not only about serious sports.
See, this kid jumped in the car even after he was drunk. He was not even scared that he was going to be checked. So, it's It was at the back of his mind that nothing was going to happen to him. That's why this happened. So someone has to be afraid when they jump into the car. At least there should be some.
So in that case, my question is, if a kid jumps into a car and rams into a bus, is that okay with you? That's not the problem we are solving. We are not solving drunken driving problem.
No, but there should be some checking, because see, he got a runner finally. We are here for that.
How will you check drunken driving for runners? That's impossible.
Not a runner, it's the guy who was driving the car.
If the policing has to be done at a certain time, because there is a certain logic. You cannot say you do it at 6 o'clock. So that's my point, by the way. You cannot say that for someone mentioned we are a fringe community. For a fringe community, let's say you put all the policing. So let's be practical even on that. If you're talking about policing at 6 a.m. in the morning, then at what cost? Someone was jumping into a car and driving 6 in the a.m. or 12 at midnight or 8 at 8 p.m. Are we discussing that? Are we discussing how to stop drunken driving? Or are we discussing how to make runners safe? How to make runners excel in what they are doing? So please define that in the petition at least. Because your petition is going to go haywire if you say that, okay, start policing. Where will you police? Okay, Bandra, you have the muscle, you have the clout, you will do it. Or you will do it in Warsaw or wherever. But that's not India.
So let's stick to what we are planning to do on this thing. So Anil Bansal, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Ram. Now I have a suggestion. Now, henceforth, any runners facing even a slightest issue while running, say somebody's falling down a pothole or anything, they should upload on the social media, giving the reason what happened actually with photographs. And I would suggest that they should use those standard hashtags and the Insta handles so that it reaches the ministry or sports ministry or police department or BMC for that matter. So we should create a standard hashtags or a handles which everyone will have to use so that we spam that respect to authorities.
Great. Thanks, Anilji. Anybody else want to speak? Navinji, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, see, basically, are we going to stop running?
No, we are not.
Okay. Now, I mean, forget about, say, running in a park, running in a stadium is not something what we prefer. Even we have equal rights on the streets where we have been running. And yes, this accident took place. It's a very, very sad incident. We don't want to go back to that and how we can look forward and continue running on the streets. Now, yes, the speeding car has done the damage for the entire running community. That one accident took place. So how we can stop these cars speeding on that particular day? That is Sundays, most of us are on the roads. We'll see that how this speed will be reduced. So you put barricades, even in the highways, they put barricades and they cut down the speed. So it is a question of barricading the entire stretch of about 10 or 20 kilometers on Sunday. So the night patrolling police who are actually there, whether it's Worli, whether it's Shivaji Park, everyone is doing the night patrolling. And there are enough barricades in each police station or the chowkis. So I don't think that, there is a great job to cut down the speed of these vehicles for 6 hours. That is from 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning till 10 o'clock on a Sunday, And that will definitely help us continue our routine of running on the roads, at least for that long runs on the Sundays. This is my personal suggestion for which, okay, if you can make a mention of it, it will be a SOP which will be which will be sent across to all the police stations, so that whoever is doing their duty on that Saturday night at about 4 o'clock, they have to do that barricading for every 100 meters, so that no motorist can speed up more than about 40 kilometers in that area where we are running. This is my personal thing, which I believe is more practical, because we have done the 12-hour run even in the daytime on August 15. So we have seen that every participant of that event, up to about 400 or 500 participants, they were absolutely safe between Shivaji Park to Worli Sea Face. So, like it's a question of your land whether we are able to do it or not. If we are able to do it, that is one solution. The other solutions, whatever the rest of the participants suggested, can be given a thought. But we can't stop running on the roads. That is a primary thing. So we also have Shivaji Park, but how many people will run around Shivaji Park all the day? So if you have to do a 15 kilometer or 20 kilometer, you don't want to take a loop completely, right?
Right. Thanks,
So that's
Naveen.
my
Great
take.
suggestion that to keep barricades on the road, at least on main road, some
It's
key
a
roads where people run. So thanks a lot. Does anybody else have anything to say? Then I can sum it up.
Ram, I want to add something.
Please go ahead.
I've heard a lot of these suggestions, and my team will kind of make summary bullet points of all the things that came out. Ultimately, there has to be a core group that has to be formed. A couple of people, 5, 7, whatever number, and it has to include at least 2 or 3 lawyers who can, tell us things correctly. Lawyers who are runners. Prem Rajani is here. I know him very well. Good runner, practicing solicitor. Sham Lata was here. I don't know if he's dropped out. Ashok is here. At least we've got 3 legal minds here. You are a company secretary. I'm a chartered accountant. So we are like, junior profession, so to speak. We should all come together and under the leadership of MRR, we should create a summary of this meeting, which of course I will do. And we should, use MRR as a platform. And then we should decide, whether to go to the police and make an appeal, whether to go to the court, whether to go to the sports ministry, whether to go to all of them. I mean, a bunch of people. Naveen Hegde is there, very, very sincere, dedicated person. Few of us must come. Ram, you must take the lead, constitute this small committee, list down all the action points, and then say that this is what we are going to do. But one of the things that came out was that we should use a common hashtag because everything is on social media now. So I think a hashtag like right to run on the roads or RRR, right to run on roads, RR is a very famous thing now. So we can come with a new interpretation, something like that, something gimmicky, something that catches the mind's eye. And, people say, oh, wow, there's a new RRR for runners. It is right to run on roads or whatever it is. Something like that, we must come up with a few things like this, few things that are serious, few things that are cocky, funny kind of thing. And not to make humor of the incident. But something like that, and that should become like a hashtag that runners all over the country use it, all over the world use it, and become like a movement, like Movember, for mustache and November and cancer. So something like that. So I think Ram, we should kind of wind up the meeting. We are past 1 hour, and I don't think anybody new is there. So I think we should just summarize it for all of us.
Okay. Thanks everybody for joining, and thanks Venkat for arranging this tech part of it. We got some wonderful suggestions from all of us. I think we will all collate all those suggestions and put it on some group and to collect more suggestions and reach across to all the groups so that we can get more ideas and inputs from all of you. And at the same time, keep the momentum going because this is something which we need to do because ultimately it's going to affect us. Everybody is involved in this, no? So it's our lives. Our family is also concerned about it. So let's work towards that. And again, once again, heartfelt condolences to the family of Raji for the unfortunate death that has snubbed her life in a very most violent manner. We pray that and hope that the family can get the strength to bear this irreparable loss. Thanks, everybody. See you on the social media and Facebook and other places. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you, Venkat sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody who
Thank
came.
you, Ram. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye.